So let me, first of all, how are you?
Oh, thank you. I'm glad we started that way. We always have to have a sip.
It's coffee, by the way.
Well,
You know.
I'm doing well. You know, it's been an interesting past 9 months, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about this. In exactly 2 months, I will have been working at home for a year, off and on.
Yeah, me too.
Isn't this weird? It honestly almost feels like 2020 never happened in some weird way. Because you don't have the routine of work.
Or the routine of vacation.
Or, yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I didn't take a vacation over the summer.
No.
You know, I mean, we really couldn't go anywhere, but, you know.
Well, and that's the thing is like, you know, getting up every day and going to work, it's a system. I mean,
Right.
but just for my own, like, well-being, I still get up every day, take a shower, you know, I'm still doing it, but it's not this, it doesn't feel the same.
Then you walk 5 feet to your home office. Just don't stand up when you're on video.
Exactly.
Right? Then we see your boxer shorts, right?
Oh, I know. I'm fully dressed, Kevin.
Good. I'm glad.
So let me ask you a question. You know, since we, a lot of companies have really been working, they have shifted their infrastructure to people's homes and whatnot. They're using their offices less. Right. A lot of companies are. Not every company, but what's the feasibility and the options and the, the likelihood that they should be moving all their servers to the cloud? Is that something that people should do?
Yeah.
You know, talk to me about that. I know this is probably a pretty heavy topic, but
yeah, I mean, on a very basic level, we are getting that question. You know, if we're not utilizing the office space, you know, where can I move my server if I don't need my office space, right?
and for power savings,
Yeah,
and,
all that
know,
kind of
a
stuff.
lot of different things.
You know, and it really, in our opinion, it really depends on your business and what type of business you're running. You know, we have some nonprofits that, you know, all they use is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Acrobat. You know, their files are just that. They're just Word and Excel files, very small.
Yep.
You know, so for them to have their stuff in the cloud makes a lot of sense, in my opinion.
No brainer.
You know, because it's not a lot of data. It's not a lot of, you know, high intensive, you know, large files, so on and so forth. So, but then on the flip side, we have some clients that are on the engineering side of, you know, the world, and they use huge files. You know, they're
You're talking
using
about like CAD.
yeah,
stuff.
CAD type stuff, AutoCAD, MicroStation, you know, Esri, GIS, all these type of engineering type platforms where you're tying to files that could be gigabytes in size, and then you've got all these referenced files all coming in at the same time with that one file.
A lot more challenging from a cloud perspective. Yeah.
Taking terabytes of data, moving it to the cloud. Will the cloud work with that data? Sure it will. Okay, but now you're relegated to, okay, how fast is my internet? Because if I'm sitting
your home internet,
or even your house, I mean, even your office, you know, because
true.
you know, because
True.
you could still sit in the office and have your stuff in the cloud. But if I'm opening AutoCAD and I'm on the cloud and my files are in the cloud, you know, now I've got to open AutoCAD and pull down a 2.5 gigabyte file with 57 different reference files.
Then when you're done, you gotta pop it back
then
up.
I got to do it all over. So now I'm sitting here waiting for all this stuff to come down on my computer, and it gets very, very troublesome at that point. So that's where, you know, in my mind, the split is for, you know, moving your stuff to the cloud or not is what are you doing? What programs are you utilizing? And can you move everything to the cloud?
Well, as I say, can somebody have a hybrid approach?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's where we get into the hybrid approach that we really educate and put in place for our clients is like on the engineering side of things. We're going to have, they have their time, payroll, software, all that kind of stuff. That's hosted by the vendor in the cloud. Okay. That doesn't have to be local.
Sure.
Right? There's not a lot of data. Okay. Email. Used to be, you know, years ago, everybody was hosting their own email.
Yeah, you had an email server.
You had an email server.
I mean, yeah.
That's a very good thing that you don't have to have because there's not large data that has to go.
Used to be large data, right?
Well, yeah, it used to be.
I mean, that's why people had the local,
Correct. And then, so that can be in the cloud. You know, so those types of applications, we're working with another, you know, client that we're just onboarding now that has, you know, kind of a client management software that it's local on their server. And it's like, we got to move it somewhere. Well, do you want to spend $5,000 on a server to host it and then back it up and do all that kind of stuff local in your office?
Right.
Or you know what? This provider that you have has an online hosted solution, and it's, you know, it would take you 7 years to justify the cost of just going online. Now we don't have to back it up. We don't have to worry about maintaining the
But
software.
you can do it from anywhere.
And now you can do
People in
it
the field
anywhere.
can
You
do
don't
it.
have to
Yeah.
have a VPN into your office to gain access to that local server. You know, and so that's where the really hybrid approach of looking at all the things that your employees and your, you know, utilize as far as software to manage your business. And it's like, yeah, I can take my email, I can take my CRM, I can take my, you know, my payroll, I can take my timesheet management, I can take all that stuff and put it in the cloud. But you know what? I'm an engineering or an architect firm, or, you know, you guys with your web stuff, you have, you know,
Video files,
all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's a lot of data. So I need to have that right across the room. So I'm going gigabit from my machine to that server, and it's all within the same network. I'm not having to fight with anybody going over the internet.
So this might be really an employee by employee basis.
Excited. I'm going to stand.
Man, no, you're good. This is your zone.
This is my zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this might be like an employee by employee basis.
Could be.
Or maybe it's for tasks.
I would say more of a function, right? Because your HR department, you know, all their HR software and stuff can be in the cloud.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
You know,
that kind of stuff. So I really think, you know, your marketing, it might be split, you know, or, you know, but it's really just sitting down with your technology consultant or your advisor and saying, your internal IT or whoever, and saying, okay, here's all the stuff that we use. What's the best scenario of cutting costs, giving more access, but we still need to have the same speed and all of that that comes into it. So it's a hard discussion.
Well, and it's one of those things you almost have, just like on the website, it's hard to give a blanket answer. If somebody was to come to you, they're at a Starbucks, and they know you're an IT person, like, hey, can I move my carbon? You can't.
I had an idea about Starbucks.
Okay.
No, seriously. Do you take one,
like a business idea?
Yeah. Okay. So if you had a sign, if you walked into Starbucks and you had a technology question, what if there was someone sitting at the table, they had a little sign up that said,
"Ask me something."
Technology advice for $10. And you sat down and say, "Hey, can I ask you something?" And you paid them $10.
That seems like a real liability situation.
Probably.
You probably wouldn't not worth the $10.
It might not be. But yes,
so
I mean, the cloud is,
hard.
and then you get into, you know, we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. The infrastructure, as far as internet and internet providers in Albuquerque, New Mexico, is very different to our neighboring city up north, Denver, which is, you know, 2.1 million people in Denver, where we have, you know, so the infrastructure and internet speed and fiber and all that kind of stuff. If I'm Comcast or any of these big players, I'm going to go to Denver and put my infrastructure in there.
That's what I was going to say. It's a
before I come to Albuquerque.
Internet service provider market situation is what it is.
So, you know, for our clients, you know, they might go to a conference or do something, and everybody's talking about cloud services and all this, and the people that are talking about it are from New York and Phoenix and LA,
or
you know, and you're, you know. You come back and you're like, well, I want to do all my cloud stuff because I went to this conference, you know, and I'm like, well, okay, well, we don't have the same internet that, you know, every time you call us once a month because your internet dropped, there goes your network, right? Yeah. So we just got to slow down.
But I think eventually, Kevin.
Eventually we'll get there.
And well, this is what we were saying 10 years ago before we were really doing a lot of video stuff. Is like eventually we'll be able to do a lot of video call. Now we're there.
Yep.
But even the video stuff, you know, a lot of people, even, you know, this is the weird thing. Even if you're in a really well-populated area with amazing internet, you can still have weird internet glitches.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's so. The cloud stuff, one of the things I will say about the cloud stuff is it's not nearly as rock solid as on-premises stuff.
No.
Inherently.
Correct.
So you have to, going into it, you have to know that, okay, there's going to be a little bit of give and take here, guys. Yep. This is where convenience over, you know, uptime and those kinds of things, right? So yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot, but, you know, I would say bottom line is it is doable. it can benefit you as a company in many ways, but you got to talk to your trusted advisor on the technology side to make sure you're making the right decision.
Yeah.
Don't just start moving stuff to the cloud and then, now you're kind of in it, right?
in a weird place.
But thanks guys for listening.
Yep.
Please put comments in the bottom, ask us questions. I get excited about all the cloud stuff, as you can see. So maybe, any kind of other topics that you would like to hear. But like us, subscribe. We appreciate it.